The Warriors aren't doing anything wrong. That's the point. They are the culmination of a perfect storm of circumstances.
What about the rich getting richer? Why even bother playing next season?
Other teams need to get their game up.
It doesn't feel right.
Now, if you're watching this video right now, DeMarcus Cousins is a member of the Golden State Warriors, and for the cheap price of $5.3 million for 1 year. 192 players made more than $5.3 million last season, and none of them averaged 25 points and 32 rebounds per game. Now, naturally, NBA fans, and I put quotes around fans that are not too pleased with DeMarcus signing with the Warriors, and it's leaving a lot of people with the question is, what is the point of competing with the Warriors if they can just sign all stars like Boogie for that little bit of money? Also leave us the questions as in, why do the rich keep getting richer, and was there not a way to keep the Warriors from continuing to dominate on and off the court? And with that question, I have to answer with a no, because the market for DeMarcus Cousins wasn't exactly high. There weren't teams begging for him to sign with them, even though there were massive teams that needed interior scoring, and they are still in need of that as today. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins himself even said that there were no offers for him from any teams. The Celtics were reportedly the runner-up for Cousins, but they might have not actually made an offer to him. Now today we're going to be talking about why DeMarcus Cousins signed to the Warriors was the best career move for him.
I'm a Warrior.
DeMarcus, there's been a lot of talk, around the league of, it's ruining the league, to build these super teams and whatnot. Do you feel like this is going to be ruining the league by adding you to this team?
No, we still got to go out there and play like every other player does.
Then why do you think that narrative is circulating?
Say that again?
Why do you think that narrative is circulating that building these quote-unquote super teams is ruining the league?
I don't know, and I really don't care.
Now, for starters, he does have a ruptured Achilles. That is a very big deal. The Achilles injury is the worst injury that you can suffer, and most players never are the same. Even if he does recover perfectly from that injury, it would take him up until next season to do so. Most teams do not have the luxury to invest a lot of money into a player or wait that long without any certainty that it will be the same player. We simply cannot downplay the injury. If he had injured any other part of his body, he likely has more of a higher market. Now, you may be asking, even before the injury, how valuable is DeMarcus Cousins? Now, that's a good question to ask because we know DeMarcus puts up huge numbers, but he's never made it to a playoff ever in his career. And he has a bad number of on-the-court issues that hurt his team. But he's not always in shape. His defensive efforts comes and goes. He turns the ball over a lot, and he's prone to losing his cool at the worst possible times. Cousins has played on one above 500 team in his career. Last season, before Cousins' injury, the Pelicans were 27-22 and outscored teams by an average of 1.2 points per 100 possessions. After Cousins' injury, they went 21-13 while outscoring teams by 3.1 points per 100 possessions. Then they swept the Portland Trailblazers in the first round of the playoffs, with Anthony Davis dominating. There are some factors, most notably the addition of Nikola Mirotic at the trade deadline. But the fact that the New Orleans Pelicans were better without DeMarcus Cousins than with him in the same amount of number of games, that plus Cousins' reputation as being a difficult player to coach, didn't exactly help his value around the league even before his Achilles. Now, who could have given him a max contract? You have Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, the Lakers, and Philadelphia. Sacramento and Phoenix had a little less to offer than the max, while Utah, Indiana, and the Clippers had to find a way to free up cap space to offer him a max contract. And I mean, none of these teams really had much reason to want to spend that much money on DeMarcus Cousins. I mean, Atlanta and Chicago aren't really interested in competing right now. The 76ers don't need Cousins when they have Joel Embiid. Phoenix just drafted DeAndre Ayton. Dallas chose to go with DeAndre Jordan instead. Indiana and Utah understandably kept their band together. The Clippers had to jump to too many hoops to put themselves in the mix. Sacramento shouldn't even be on here, and the Lakers will come back to that. Now, you may be asking, what about the Pelicans? Why didn't they see the cap space to keep DeMarcus Cousins? And I'm gonna ask you this: why would you take a risk on a big man coming off the worst injury in sports, especially when the team was better last season without him? You can understand why they didn't, especially when they had the better option of acquiring Julius Randle instead. Now, with that being said, there were only a handful of teams that could offer him about $5.3 million, and those teams were Boston, Charlotte, Denver, Detroit, Houston, Miami, Milwaukee, Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Portland, Toronto, Washington, and of course, Golden State. None of those teams are winning a free agent pitch over the Warriors. especially if they had the same money to offer. Considering the circumstances, of course, Cousins chose to sign with the Warriors over anyone else. Now let's go back to the Lakers. This is the one team that might be kicking themselves right now. They're the only team that could have given Cousins a richer contract than what the Warriors gave him, and they had some reason to do so. After getting LeBron James, the Lakers used the cap space to get Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for $12 million and Rajon Rondo for $9 million. They used a room mid-level exception on Lance Stevenson and the minimum contract of JaVale McGee, which they could have done regardless of their other moves. Even after those two signings, they could have renounced Randall's rights, which they did, and used the stretch provision on Luol Deng to open up around $8 to $20 million in cap space for DeMarcus.
DeMarcus, there's been a lot of talk, around the league of, it's ruining the league, to build these super teams and whatnot. Do you feel like this is going to be ruining the league by adding you to this team?
No, you still got to go out there and play like every other player does. I don't know, and I really don't care. I'm a warrior.
So appreciate you guys for watching my video today. Make sure to leave a comment down below. If I missed anything, make sure to leave a like down below. And if you want to see me cover any other topic in NBA, make sure to leave that down below in the comment section. And thank you for watching NBA Daily.
Anything's possible.